Hi, I'm Miriam. I'm 32 years old, and up until 3 months ago, I thought I had a pretty decent relationship with my mother in law, Sandra. Sure, she had her moments. What mother in law doesn't? But I never imagined she'd literally assault me in a hospital emergency room. Let me back up a bit. I met my husband Jake 5 years ago at a coffee shop in Portland. He was reading a book I loved, and I made some corny comment about it. We hit it off immediately. When he introduced me to his mom 6 months later, I was nervous but excited. "So you're the girl who's stolen my son's heart," Sandra said, sizing me up with a tight smile. "I hope you know what you're getting into." "Mom, don't start," Jake warned. "What? I'm just saying marriage is hard work. My ex-husband and I barely made it 10 years before he left me for his secretary." I squeezed Jake's hand. "We're not even engaged yet, Sandra." "Yet," she repeated, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Well, when you are, just remember, I know my son better than anyone." Over the years, Sandra's comments became a pattern. Little digs disguised as concern. "Are you sure you want to wear that to dinner, honey? It's a bit tight." Or, "Jake never liked spicy food before you came along." But Jake always brushed it off. "She's just protective," he'd say. "She means well." I wanted to believe him. I really did. The incident happened on a Saturday afternoon. I was helping my neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, move a heavy bookshelf when my foot caught on the rug. I fell hard, my left arm taking the full impact. The pain was immediate and blinding. "Oh my God, Miriam!" Mrs. Patterson shrieked. "Don't move! I'm calling 911!" At the ER, the x-rays confirmed what I already knew: a clean fracture of my radius. Dr. Chen, a kind woman in her 40s, explained they'd need to set it properly. "Your husband's on his way?" she asked while prepping the cast materials. "Yes, I called him right after—" "Miriam!" Sandra's voice cut through the ER like a knife. She burst through the curtain, Jake trailing behind her. "What happened? Jake said you fell? How did you fall?" "Mom, let her breathe," Jake said, moving to my bedside. "Hey, babe, are you okay?" "I'm fine, just hurts like crazy. They're about to cast it." Sandra crossed her arms, her expression skeptical. "You fell? Just like that? Were you drinking?" "What? No. I was helping Mrs. Patterson. Because you've been looking tired lately. Maybe you're not eating enough. Low blood sugar can make you dizzy," Dr. Chen interjected gently. "Mrs. Williams has a clean fracture. It's a straightforward injury from a fall. These things happen." "Mom, seriously, back off," Jake said, his voice firm. But Sandra wasn't done. She stepped closer, her eyes fixed on my arm. "Let me see it." "You can see it right there," I said, confused. "The doctor showed us the x-ray." "No, I mean really see it. Sometimes people exaggerate these things for attention." My mouth fell open. "Exaggerate? Sandra, my arm is broken." "So you say." And then, before anyone could react, she grabbed my broken arm right where the fracture was and squeezed. The scream that tore from my throat didn't even sound human. White-hot agony exploded through my arm, up my shoulder, into my skull. I heard shouting, felt hands pulling Sandra away, but the pain consumed everything. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Jake was yelling. "I just wanted to see if she was lying," Sandra shouted back. "She barely reacted." "Barely reacted?" Nurse Kelly had rushed in, her face furious. "She screamed loud enough to hear in the parking lot. Security!" Dr. Chen immediately administered stronger pain medication, while Nurse Kelly documented everything. 2 security guards escorted Sandra out while she protested the entire way. "This is ridiculous! I'm her mother-in-law. I have a right to be concerned." "You have a right to leave," one guard said firmly. "Now." Jake stood frozen, his face pale. When the door finally closed, he turned to me with tears in his eyes. "Miriam, I'm so sorry. I don't know what... Why would she... Your mom just assaulted me," I said, my voice shaking from the pain medication and shock. "She grabbed my broken arm, Jake, on purpose." "I know. I saw it. I just..." He ran his hands through his hair. "This isn't like her." "Isn't it, though?" The words came out harder than I intended. "Your mom has never liked me." You just never wanted to see it. Dr. Chen cleared her throat. I need to examine the arm again to make sure no further damage was done. Jake, maybe give us a moment? He nodded, backing toward the door. I'll be right outside. After he left, Dr. Chen carefully checked my arm while Nurse Kelly stood by. The doctor's expression was grave. The fracture hasn't shifted, thank God, Dr. Chen said. But Miriam, what your mother-in-law did, that was assault. In my 15 years as an ER physician, I've never seen anything like it. Will you document it? I asked. Everything that happened? Already done, Nurse Kelly said. We both witnessed it, and I've noted every detail in your chart. The security footage will show everything too. Good. I took a deep breath, wincing at the pain. I want to press charges. Dr. Chen nodded slowly. That's absolutely your right. We can have someone from hospital administration come talk to you, and they'll help you contact the police. 20 minutes later, I was talking to Detective Morrison, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s who took my statement with practiced efficiency. Your mother-in-law grabbed your fractured arm after being told multiple times about the injury? She clarified. Yes. She said she wanted to see if I was lying about it being broken. And there are multiple witnesses and security footage? The doctor, the nurse, my husband, and yes, cameras. Detective Morrison closed her notepad. Mrs. Williams, this is a clear case of assault. Given the circumstances, assaulting someone with a known injury in a medical facility, the DA will likely pursue charges regardless of whether you press them. But your testimony will be crucial. Jake came back in just as Detective Morrison was leaving. He looked awful, like he hadn't slept in days, even though only hours had passed. Miriam, can we talk? He asked softly. What's there to talk about, Jake? Your mother assaulted me. I know, and it's completely unacceptable. But she's still my mom. Maybe if we all sat down together? No. The word came out flat and final. I'm not sitting down with someone who physically hurt me. She was just worried about me. About us. She doesn't trust easily after what my dad did. Jake, stop. I held up my good hand. Her trauma doesn't give her the right to hurt me. You need to decide right now whose side you're on. He flinched. It's not about sides. Yes, it is. Your mother grabbed my broken arm to prove I was faking. She assaulted me in front of witnesses. If you can't see how wrong that is, we have bigger problems. 2 weeks later, Sandra showed up at our apartment. I was working from home, my arm in a bright blue cast, when the doorbell rang. Miriam, please, I need to talk to you, Sandra called through the door. Just 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I opened it. She looked different, smaller somehow, with dark circles under her eyes. What do you want, Sandra? To apologize. What I did was inexcusable. I don't know what came over me. You don't know? I laughed bitterly. You literally told everyone exactly what came over you. You thought I was lying about being hurt to get attention from your son. I was scared, okay? Her voice cracked. Jake's all I have left. After his father left, after everything I sacrificed to raise him alone, I just couldn't stand the thought of losing him to someone who might not be genuine. So you tested my injury by assaulting me? It wasn't assault. I barely touched you. You grabbed my fracture and squeezed it, Sandra. I have witnesses. There's video footage. The hospital chart shows increased pain scores and additional swelling from your barely touching me. She took a step forward. Miriam, please, I'm begging you. Don't press charges. This will ruin my life. I could go to jail. You should have thought about that before you hurt me. I'm sorry. What more do you want? I'm standing here humbling myself, apologizing. Your apology means nothing. I kept my voice steady. You didn't accidentally bump into me. You deliberately grabbed my broken arm because you thought I was faking. You wanted to hurt me to prove your point. That's not true. Then why did you do it, Sandra? Explain it to me in a way that makes sense. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Then tried again. I was trying to protect Jake. From what? From me having a broken arm? From me needing his support? From being manipulated. Women do it all the time. Play the victim to trap men. And there it is. I felt something cold settle in my chest. You think I'm trapping your son. That's what this has always been about. Sandra's face hardened. He was fine before you. He called me every day, spent weekends with me. Now I'm lucky if I see him twice a month. Because he has a wife now, Sandra. That's called growing up and having your own family. I'm his family! And so am I. But you've never accepted that, have you? Every comment about my cooking, my clothes, my job, my friends, it was all to undermine me, to make Jake doubt me. That's not... Yes, it is. And when none of that worked, when Jake still chose to marry me, still chose to build a life with me, you escalated. You physically hurt me because you thought you could prove I wasn't worthy of him. Sandra's eyes filled with tears. Please, Miriam. I'll do anything. I'll go to therapy. I'll stay away, whatever you want. Just drop the charges. No. What? I said no. You don't get to assault someone and then negotiate your way out of consequences because you're scared of facing them. Her expression changed, the pleading replaced by fury. You're going to regret this. Jake will never forgive you for sending his mother to jail. You'll lose him. If that's true, then I never really had him. But unlike you, I'm willing to find out. She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a hiss. You think you're so perfect, so above it all. But you're just a vindictive person who can't accept an apology. You're tearing this family apart. No, Sandra. You did that when you grabbed my arm. Now leave before I call the police about you violating the restraining order. Restraining order? There will be by Monday. My lawyer's filing it tomorrow. You're not allowed within 500 feet of me. Her face went purple with rage. This is insane. You're insane. Jake will see through this. See what you really are. A manipulative, cold-hearted... The door behind her opened. Jake stood there, his face a mask of controlled anger. Mom, get out! Sandra's face crumpled. Jake, honey, I was just trying to make things right. By threatening my wife? By calling her names? I heard everything, Mom. You don't understand. She's refusing to drop the charges, even though I apologized. Good, Jake said firmly. What you did was criminal. You hurt someone I love, someone who was already injured and vulnerable. An apology doesn't fix that. But I'm your mother, and she's my wife, the woman I chose to build my life with. You've made that choice impossible over and over again, and I kept making excuses for you. Not anymore. Sandra looked between us, desperation clear on her face. Jake, please, I can't go to jail. I'm 56 years old. It'll destroy me. You should have thought about that before you assaulted Miriam in front of multiple witnesses. It was a moment of madness. Everyone makes mistakes. Jake's voice went quiet, which was somehow worse than shouting. Mom, you grabbed my wife's broken arm and squeezed it. You caused her additional pain and trauma because you thought she was lying. That's not a mistake. That's cruelty. I just wanted to protect you. From what? From being loved? From being happy? Because that's all Miriam has ever done? Love me and try to make a life with me, and you couldn't stand it. Detective Morrison arrived an hour later to serve Sandra with a restraining order. The court date was set for 6 weeks out. The DA is pursuing assault charges, Detective Morrison explained. Given the circumstances, assaulting someone in a medical facility with a documented injury, multiple witnesses including medical professionals. They're confident about a conviction. Sandra was offered a plea deal. Assault in the 3rd degree, 2 years probation, mandatory anger management counseling, and restitution for my medical bills. She refused. I'm not pleading guilty to assaulting anyone, she told her lawyer loud enough for me to hear in the courthouse hallway. It's her word against mine. It's her word. 2 doctors, a nurse, security guards, and video footage against yours, her lawyer said tiredly. The trial lasted 3 days. The jury took 40 minutes to find her guilty. The judge sentenced her to 60 days in county jail, 5 years probation, and a permanent restraining order keeping her away from both Jake and me. A month after the sentencing, Jake and I sat on our balcony watching the sunset. My cast had finally come off, and though my arm was still weak, the physical pain had faded. Do you think I'm a horrible person? Jake asked quietly. For what? For testifying against my own mother. I took his hand with my good one. Jake, you testified to what you saw. You told the truth. That's not horrible. That's having integrity. She sent me a letter from jail yesterday. Said I betrayed her. That she'll never forgive me. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm the one who should be sorry. I should have stood up to her years ago. All those little comments, all those digs at you, I brushed them off because it was easier than confronting her. You're doing it now. That's what matters. She kept saying in the letter that she did it because she loves me. But that's not love, is it? No, I said softly. Love doesn't hurt people to prove a point. Love doesn't assault someone in a hospital. Love respects boundaries. We sat in silence for a while. Then Jake spoke again. She wants to meet when she gets out. Says we need to work through this as a family. What did you tell her? That there's nothing to work through. She committed a crime, faced consequences, and now she needs to respect the restraining order. That's it. How do you feel about that? He was quiet for a long moment. Sad, relieved, free, kind of. Is that awful? No, it's honest. I squeezed his hand. Your mom made her choices, Jake. You're not responsible for fixing her or managing her emotions. Thank you for not backing down, he said suddenly. When she came here, tried to manipulate you into dropping charges, thank you for being stronger than I was all those years. We're partners now. Your battles are my battles, and mine are yours. He pulled me close, careful of my healing arm. Always. So what do you think? Have you ever dealt with someone who couldn't accept boundaries until they faced real consequences? How did you handle it? Drop your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life revenge stories where justice actually prevails.